The Cleveland Browns got it done in the biggest way possible. Jim Donovan was looking down upon us today. This was a great day for the Cleveland Browns, and we are here to celebrate that. Jim Donovan's memory. We'll talk about Jameis Winston. We'll talk about Coach Stefanski. We'll talk about Dorsey. We'll talk about everything you guys want to talk about. And, of course, we'll talk about that Kool-Aid, because I'm drinking it. That Kool-Aid Mafia is back in the building, baby. We'll come back and do it right here on the Browns postgame show. G. Bush in the building. What a great game. What a day to be a Browns fan. And let me just get to it real quick, too. Let's get right to it. First and foremost, let me take a sip of this, wherever you at. We on Facebook. That's good. Boy, it's good to drink the Kool-Aid. Boy, it's good to get some of that Kool-Aid back in your system. First and foremost, wherever you at, thank you for pulling up on me. If you're on Facebook, if you're on LinkedIn, if you are on YouTube, if you are on Twitch, if you're on Twitter, thank you guys so much for pulling up with me. This is going to be a great show. I've been out and about doing nothing. I've been down a little bit the last few days. If you notice me, I have not been on my radio show. I was not on Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. I was very, very, very sick last week. And the news of Jim Donovan really put me in a worse mood. Like it just really dampened a whole lot of things, man. I was going through it, wasn't feeling well. And then when the news of Jim Donovan hit me, it was tough. And I just want to say, first and foremost, condolences out to the whole Browns community. And Jim Donovan, who was a guy who, for me, was one of the first dudes I looked up to and one of the people that I wanted to, talk about and do to some of the same things that he was doing in the industry covering the Cleveland Browns. And when I worked for the Browns radio network, he was one of the first people to really look at me and say, hey, you might got something here. You might got a little something here, right? You're a little off kilter. Like you got a little a different way of approaching things, but I think you might be able to be something. And I remember at the end of every single game when I was working with the Browns radio network and we would do the in-game stuff, he would always say, and Garrett Bush, back in the studio holding it down for us. And I, for a dude that was just coming up, that meant so much to me. That just meant like the world, like, saying that I would get my name mentioned. And Jim was just one of the best to do it. And today he was one of those people that I was out there moving around. And I think Jim really was on that football field today, helping the Cleveland Browns, especially when you talk about later, listen, when they dropped that interception late, I thought in Hamilton, when he dropped that, I said, oh goodness, Jim is up there playing that good defense. He's up there playing defense for us right now. But I think Jim and the team came together around that. For the last week or so, there was a bunch of different things talking about the different people, right? There was a lot of different factions. There was a lot of different individuals talking about whether it was the players versus the team, whether it was guys were not, they didn't understand. Even Nick Chubb talking about not being able to be out there and being out there and thinking to himself, he didn't know how the fans was going to respond. And for me, when I saw that, I was like, man, this is going to be one of those type games, right? And I think the fan base showed up, and salute to them. They showed up and cheered and did what they had to do. I think the Browns played one of their best football games of the year. And overall, man, like there were so many different themes and different things that we're going to dip and dive and get into. We will get to your comments, and we will get to everything possible coming up here as well. We'll give you an opportunity to talk about Jim Donovan. We'll get to some of your quotes and different things like that. But let me just tell you this. And coming up, keep it locked. Keep it locked. I'm going to give you an opportunity to win some really cool Brown stuff. Just keep it locked. Make sure you watch this. Make sure you watch it on YouTube, wherever you're at. And we're going to get you some really cool good giveaways that you get an opportunity to get, and it's completely free. You ain't got to do nothing to get them. It's some really cool stuff, and I've been waiting specifically for the Browns to win some football games so we can get to that. So we'll definitely talk about that coming up here in this show. But let's start this thing off, man. This was a crazy inspirational win against the Ravens, right? And when you look at Jameis Winston, first and foremost, let's get to it. Jameis Winston showed us a lot of stuff today. And Sean King called me probably like last week sometime about Tuesday. Tuesday or Wednesday. I was really sick. He called me up just checking up on me, and he was talking about his film breakdowns. And if you haven't seen those film breakdowns, make sure you check it out UCSS. Sean King hit me up and said, yo, G. Bush, I told the people, I told the audience, don't count Jameis Winston out. And I said, what you mean? He said, there's a lot of people that want to put a ceiling on that. There's a lot of people that want to put a ceiling on what Jameis Winston can do. And I feel like he's a guy that can come out and do it. Now, let me tell you this. When we talked about Joe Flacco a year ago, right? Joe Flacco played well for us, played tremendous down the stretch. Joe Flacco's a little bit older, and a lot of people wanted to say, hey, we should have kept Joe Flacco. I don't know about Jameis Winston. Let me tell you something. Jameis Winston is a former number one overall pick. And what we saw today was you saw glimpses of what made Jameis Winston a first of all overall pick. He has the intangibles. He has the arm strength. He has the heart to throw the ball downfield. And what we saw in this football game is not to be poo-pooed a little bit. Let me just give you this. Do you understand there was multiple opportunities for the Cleveland Browns to lose this football game? Some of those same different things that we saw before, where we were asking, and Deshaun Watson was put into circumstances, and we were asking the first 7 weeks of the season that we wanted somebody to come out and make those plays. We wanted somebody, hey, I know that there was offsides. I know there were some penalties, but who's going to step up and make a play? And one of the things that we saw today, boys and girls, was you look at what Jameis Winston was able to do. Jameis Winston, after the bogus call on the sideline with who was it? David Njoku. That was a complete catch. Let's keep it real. That was a complete catch. I don't understand how they refs be seeing that stuff, but once again, that was another opportunity where the Browns could have dropped the football and were like, listen, we're going to implode right now. But they didn't. You take a look at when it was the almost interception, right, at the end of the game. But what the Cleveland Browns did was found a way to win this football game. They found a way, the opportunity to get the ball downfield. And then to play to Cedric Tillman over the shoulder, beautiful pass. And they find a way to get that dub. And so when you look at Jameis Winston, and Sean King talks about, hey, listen, let's not forget that this guy could possibly have something looking forward, right? This guy could possibly show us something. I feel like, I was just on my other podcast, and I talked about this a little bit too. We had a point where we looking around, and this is how tough this is. We to a point where I'm in my other podcast, and we got people talking about, I told you so. And I'm looking around like, what do you mean? I told you so. What are you talking about? And I'm sitting here looking around, and let me get this right. Jameis Winston comes out here and wins a game against the Baltimore Ravens, right? A game which, and by the way, the Baltimore Ravens is playing lights out. Baltimore Ravens right now, they're talking about Lamar Jackson winning his second MVP. Lights out there playing right now. Lamar Jackson is out here playing out of his mind. And the Cleveland Browns came in, and they could have gave this game away. They could have folded the 10 up. They could have been running around here talking about the picks for next year that we about to get, but they did not do that. And they get this win. And this is the confusing part. This is the confusing part to me. You get the passing away of Jim Donovan. You come out here and you get a win, right? And the only thing people keep running around here saying is, well, see, they wasted the entire year. Deshaun Watson. I don't want to see Deshaun Watson play anymore. I'm like, am I in an alternate universe? Am I in an alternate world? Did I just not see the Cleveland Browns come out here and win a football game like this in spectacular fashion that was inspiring? And we still got people a whole week later still playing these number 4 culture war games. What are we doing, bro? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are folks? I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna try to put it to bed, right? And a lot of people, oh, now you clowns want to, we had to tell you all year, now you clowns want to come around to it. First of all, put some respect on my name. You call me a clown, but I'm the biggest clown. Big Circus is my name. Put some respect on Big Circus's name. But this is what I'm going to say. When you look at it, we don't know if Jameis Winston is going to be the guy. We don't know if somehow Jameis Winston is going to turn his career around. We didn't know that about Joe Flacco last year, right? Right now, the Cleveland Browns is in the dating pool. What does that mean? Listen, sometimes you don't got to be so desperate that you're looking to get married every time. When I got out of a marriage and when I got a divorce, one of the things that hit me with is you don't want to go back into the dating scene looking desperate. You don't want to go out there and sometimes you just want to have a good date. Sometimes you want to go and have some company with a nice, young, attractive lady, and maybe y'all want to go see a movie. Maybe you want to eat some good food, have a good time, and enjoy each other's thought-provoking conversation. You don't want to be running around scaring people off because you're so doggone thirsty. The Cleveland Browns today had a date, and for the first time in years, that date was entertaining. You got your mind off what was going on. You may have had a bad relationship before. You got some baggage. Guess what? Today, you sat in front of another person that you had a thought-provoking conversation, and at the end of the night, didn't nobody argue, didn't nobody fuss, didn't nobody fight, and you had a damn good time. We don't need to be talking about who or what or when or why. All of that is popping off and who's going to be the long-term franchise. No, here's what we're going to do. We're going to sit here and enjoy this victory, and then we're going to come back next week. And Jameis Winston is going to have an opportunity next week to put some more good stuff on tape. And the Cleveland Browns are going to have an opportunity to take another football step and watch and bring that together. And some people, look, it's going to be a segment of this population, and it's going to be a segment of the fan base that, you know what? They're emotional. They get turned off by things. Some people may not like Jameis Winston because he said what he said, standing up for Deshaun Watson. Some people are going to get butthurt and say, listen, hey, I don't like the fact that they made me feel a certain type way, man. Listen, but shout out to the fans that showed up and understood we're going to keep the thing the thing. It's about football. And they showed up to that stadium and they cheered for their team and they did exactly what they were supposed to do. And now the Cleveland Browns is on the mends of looking like good football. We are now on the mends of doing something where it looks like good football. And by the way, people will come back around. It ain't that serious. It ain't that serious. For the first time, and I don't know if y'all felt the same way, for the first time I sat there and I was watching that game. And it was an interesting football game. And it was a game that showed a back and forth. It looked like the team was responding. It looked like the defense had energy. It looked like the team was, for the first time, out here playing the game that we thought they were going to play the entire season. They played the game that we thought that they were going to play and they were going to be competitive with the entire season. And right now they're 2-6. But I'm going to tell you what. Some people already mailed it in. We'll get them back later. Don't worry about it. Right now, the way certain things sell is like this. If you come on and you talk about 97,000 negative things, and you come on here and be like, yo, this was so-and-so's fault, it was all this person's fault, it was that person's fault, yeah, you're gonna run some numbers up. But when you talk about football and when you actually talking about what they did well and how they did and what it ain't the same. The venom ain't there. The vitriol ain't there. See, it's hard to be mad at the Cleveland Browns today. It's hard to be mad at them. See, but this is what we wanted to get to at one point in time. We wanted competent, sane football. This is what we wanted to see. And I said last week, moving forward, as I put on Twitter, I was excited to see what Jameis Winston was going to do. I was excited to see what Kevin Stefanski was going to do. And I was excited to see what Ken Dorsey was going to do. And I'll give Kevin Stefanski credit for something. In a world of doubling down, in a world where it's seen as a weakness to say that I was wrong, or where it's wrong to say, listen, I'm going to rethink what I'm going to do. In a world where doubling down is the new thing, doubling down on stupid, Kevin Stefanski said, you know what? It ain't working right now. The Deshaun Watson thing, I was trying to work with it. I was calling the plays, not working right now. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be a CEO. I'm going to be a head coach. I'm going to be a guy that's going around to touch base with every single person on the sidelines. And I was watching intimately as this game went along, and I saw things that I never saw out of Kevin Stefanski. Did y'all catch this? When at the end of the game, when Bubba Ventrone is trying to tell him something, he's like, whoa, you all in my ear. Come on, man. I'm trying to watch this game real quick. You're in my ear right now. I said, oh, look at Kevin. Look at him being aware. I see him talking to his quarterback off the field. I see him next to Jim Schwartz closer than I've ever seen. Right? Going over plays, going over different things. And it takes a lot for a person to say, you know what, I'm going to try something different. Because all week while I was out sick, I don't know. They took the play calling away from him. I don't understand why he doesn't push back against the owners. I don't understand. The owners are dumpster fires. I don't understand. This is all on the Haslams, and why did they take the play calling away from him? Maybe did we sit back and think about one second that maybe Kevin Stefanski willingly gave that up because he understood what it was? Maybe we take him at his word for what it is. And I don't want to get off on a tangent, but let me drink my Kool-Aid because I'm excited about this win. By the way, listen, we might have found something. We might have found something. By the way, let me tell you something. 800 people in here, 846, whatever it is, hit that like button. Stop playing around with me. Let me tell you about this. Bless me. And here's another thing I kept hearing. Y'all might as well stop this. I don't know what y'all talking about. I listened all last week, and this is a little side. We'll get back to what we get into. Why are y'all confused? Why do y'all believe that rich people pay attention to what you're saying? What? We need to know what D. Podesta does. No, you don't. We need to, Jimmy Haslam, he needs to do, listen, rich people, when is the last time you've seen a billionaire listen to regular people? If you want to sit here and blame the ownership, it's almost like howling at the moon. What are you going to do? They're not selling the team. They're going to make the decisions they want. You're going to have to come up with a decision and understand, all right, well, maybe I'm going to support some decisions. Maybe I'm not. But here's what we got to do. Control the controllables. You can sit here and make believe that Jimmy Haslam is going to, he's going to run the team into the dirt. And that may even be true. He may be forceful. He may tell people they don't want to do certain things they want to do. But guess what? Have you guys worked real jobs? When is the last time a CEO didn't do the same thing? When I go to work every single day, there were some things that I just don't really want to do. And then they'd be like, no, this is how it's going to work. You're going to do that. I can complain about that, or I can find things within my power to make some sort of meaning out of what I'm doing, and it's all about my mindset and what I want to do. And Kevin Stefanski came to a fork in the road. He said, look, I can continue to call these plays, and it ain't really doing what I'm supposed to be. It ain't really working. It's 1-6, something got to give. Let me give a person an opportunity to do what they were paying to do. That's what he did with Dorsey today. That's what he did with Dorsey today. And by the way, let me know in the comment section. I thought the playbook, I thought the play calling was cohesive. I thought the plays had some sort of rhythm to them. I thought he had he stayed to the run. I thought he did some other things that was good under center. I think he had a nice little mix and balance. There were some things on 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1 that I could have went without. I didn't like the play, the fullback play to Nick Chubb up the middle where he got stopped. But the thing is, there was balance, there was some thought process, and it was some rhythm to the offense. I thought he did a good job in letting Ken go back to what he was comfortable with, sitting in the box and looking at the bird's eye view. I thought that was great. And the one thing I always thought was, and this is my thing that I hate when people boil this down to one or two things. Again, I've been trying to tell people about this for the whole season, but y'all get listen, you get misconstrued here. Don't get it twisted. You may listen to these little jokes, all these funny little outfits, but when it comes to the game of football, no. I'm one of them who do it at a high level. At a high level. Don't listen to the jokes. When I'm sitting down and I'm talking to Deshaun Kings and we going over, or I'm talking to Tyvis and we talking about stuff, or I'm talking to Bernie Kosar, listen to what they saying. And the questions that I'm asking them, they say, dang, gee, you right. At some point in time, the Cleveland Browns came to the conclusion this week, we got to get back to what we was doing preferably. And you know what? You know what they got back to? Run action, play action. I'm gonna stick it right there and then pull it. Come on, man. And you notice what happened today. That play action in the back level now gives you an opportunity to get some of those chunk plays. See, when you in shotgun and you run it, you sitting back here in shotgun, everybody know what is coming. But all of a sudden, your receivers look faster. All of a sudden, you got more room to operate. All of a sudden, the passing windows is a lot more clear. And all of a sudden, it looks like you're running the ball a little better. We've been talking about those things from the get-go. Now there's an opportunity for the Cleveland Browns to do that. You saw that, and you saw Nick Chubb start to look a little better as he gets his legs up underneath him. And the thing that we noticed most of all was the offensive line. Slow clap. Offensive line today looked better than I've seen the offensive line look all season long. Wyatt Teller comes back, and you notice what they said on the telecast. Look at Wyatt Teller. Look at this pancake block right here. I jumped up. Whoa. Did somebody say Wyatt Teller got a pancake? Is this 2021 Wyatt Teller? You notice what they said when Joe Bitonio is going on the sideline and telling Kevin Stefanski, giving him, I'm eating right now. Give your offensive lineman an opportunity to get in a stance and punch people in the mouth for once. Give your O-line an opportunity to punch people in the mouth and not let those guys tee off and get at you. You see how, listen, everybody got a plan until you get punched in the mouth. And the Cleveland Browns took that to the Baltimore Ravens, by the way. This wasn't the Colts. This wasn't the Jags. This wasn't the Patriots. This was Harbaugh and the Ravens coming in, licking their chops after they was playing like the best team in the league. You see that? A run game travels. That play action travels. And yes, look, people going to say, Jameis Winston could have threw 35 picks. So could have Lamar Jackson. We could have had a franchise quarterback if Deshaun Watson did do it. If was the fifth, we all be drunk. I'm not going to sit here and look a gift horse in the mouth. We've been playing terrible. The whole city is in chaos. And you want me to point out the almost interceptions? Come on, man. Y'all cats is crazy. Well, he's not the long-term answer. Bro, we ain't talking about no long-term answer. As for me and the Browns fans who wait all doggone year to get these wins, we is not about to talk about almost interceptions and prognosticate on who's the future. We moving forward. If you listen, this is Oregon Trail. We was on meager rations. We had to barge and ferry, and we lost 3 kids to malaria. We moving forward. All that look back stuff. Listen, again, if you want to play blame game football, so be it. You want to play, look, who was it? Was it Kevin Stefanski in the plays? Was it Deshaun Watson? Was it the offensive line? We ain't on that. Guess what? Moving forward, we 1-0. We 1-0. We back on that Kool-Aid. We back on that Kool-Aid. Tough. What's the difference between Jameis Winston and Sam Darnold? What's the difference between Jameis Winston and Baker Mayfield? What's the difference between Goff and Geno Smith and what we got in Jameis Winston? Some of y'all gonna come around late. Remember, I was the one who told you the Flacco. I'm the one who gave Flaccavelli his name. I said he was gonna throw for 300 yards all them doggone times in a row. And he did it, didn't he? Right now, Jameis Winston has the ability to win football games for the Cleveland Browns. I don't know how long it's going to last. I don't know if it's going to be sustainable. But listen, right now, we're going to take that. Because there's one thing that is undeniable about Jameis Winston. 1,100 people in here, wherever you at, hit that like button. We're going to get to y'all's comments too. It's undeniable about Jameis Winston. He motivates his team. See, when you stand for something, people can follow you. See, a lot of y'all, what y'all didn't understand before, what y'all didn't get, was that as a quarterback and a leader of your football team, he has to have unwavering support of his teammates in that locker room. What a lot of y'all don't understand, that is deeper than what you're talking about. Jameis Winston has to have the respect of those guys in that locker room. And if it comes between anybody and what Jameis Winston is going to do, he understands he's smart. He understands leadership. And just like the quarterback takes more blame and gets more credit, Jameis Winston understands that sometimes you got to take the bullet for somebody else. Sometimes you got to be the shield in between other guys. Because today what you saw was what he earned last week. See, this is where I lose people. This is where I start to lose people. He was preaching. G. Bush was doing his thing. Where's he going? This is where I start to lose people. Without last week, he don't get the buy-in that he got today. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all playing around. This is what you came for. Listen, I know if y'all was getting a little squeamish, y'all can leave if you want to get squeamish. I'm sorry. But listen to this. This is the way it went. He stood for something. A lot of people, a lot of Browns fans was upset and hot that Jameis Winston came to the defense of Deshaun Watson. They was hot. A lot of people was hot at Myles Garrett. They was upset. How dare you tell us what we can do and how we gonna move? They was hot. I know, because I got all the emails. All the DMs, my DMs was flooded with all kind of people all over the spectrum. But Jameis Winston understood one thing. Moving forward, you the captain. Moving forward, you the guy that needs to galvanize this team. And to get everybody on your back on one accord, you going to stand for something or you going to fall for anything. And the Cleveland Browns in that locker room stood. There was times in this game where, guess what? They could have fallen apart. But if you think I'm lying, the proof's in the pudding. How all of a sudden, let me ask y'all a question. If you think I'm cap, if you think I'm lying, put it in there. Tell me I'm lying in the comment section. This is all fact. Big Circus in the building. I'm a clown. You always call, I'm Big Circus. Put it, hey, listen. You know what it is. The show goes on with me. Let me tell you this. If you think that Jameis Winston didn't get no buy-in and that he didn't get what he got from what he said the other week, go look at the play on the field. So you telling me DeJuan Jones couldn't block a soul 2 weeks ago? They all of a sudden move him to left tackle and he's just good? He jumped offside. I mean, false started, but I mean, all of a sudden, all that running around, all the look at who blocking, gone. Poof. Now, how can you do that at a position you ain't never played before, but all them other weeks, it was ole, 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 ole. All of a sudden, let me ask you something. Wyatt Teller is automatically, he just off IR. Off IR. Come in pancaking people. When has Joe Batonio ever did this? I'm eating right now. Put him back on the line. I'm eating. When he ever did that? He's never been demonstrative, ever. All of a sudden, Kevin Stefanski got the heart. Hey, Jed Wills, come sit by me. Yeah, I seen the memes on G Bush's page. I seen you doing this. Come sit by me. Come on, DeJuan. You can't do no better. You can't do no worse than Jed. Jed, come on, post up by me. What? When did you see Cedric Tillman? It was out there looking like Terrell Owens today. Cedric Tillman? I mean, he was catching the ball in stride running in the end zone. I said, who is this? Who? Cedric Tillman? Bro, Elijah Moore ran one of the best routes I've ever seen in my life, I've ever seen him run. Just last week. Just doggone last week. Sean King pointed out, and come on, Elijah, you're dogging it. You're supposed to run a clear-out route, and you didn't even run it right last week. Man, this dude ran one of the best. I don't even know what the route was. He just got to the top of this route. He was shaking him like, bow, 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 bow. Turn around, catch the ball, inbounds, doing his little dance. I said, bro, when did that guy start running like that? JOK, one of your main leaders on defense, scary. Prayers out to JOK. Lucky that I'm so glad that he's moving his extremities and doing what he's doing. He's good. But JOK went out of that football game. Denzel Ward went out of that football game. And the Cleveland Browns stopped Lamar Jackson, the MVP Lamar Jackson, from moving down the field. Without two of their best players, where that happened. All of a sudden, Dustin Hopkins wants to be clutch again. Right down, he wants to be clutch. We even had a Juan Thornhill sighting. Now, you may all think that is because, no, but they didn't want to play with Deshaun Watson. They didn't want to play with him. That's why they were acting like, no. The cool thing about telling the truth is when you tell the truth, people reach out to you. You know how many football players on that team reached out to me last week? More than I can count. big name guys. You know what they wanted to say? They wanted to tell their side of the story. It ain't even about the booing. It ain't even about that. It's about us in this locker room and supporting each other. It ain't even about all that booing stuff. It's about us supporting each other, and it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. We trying to support what we got in this locker room. We need everybody to be all in. We before this, we wasn't all in. And sometimes Jameis Winston and sometimes a person got to be unpopular for a little bit for people to get around, come back around. And you know what? It might be some people that's upset a little bit, but we keep winning these football games. They'll come back. Trust me. But sometimes as a leader, leadership is tough. And Jameis Winston did something that was necessary to become a leader of that team. It was the passing of the baton. And he talked about it later throughout this week. He said it's a blessing, the opportunity to get behind there. And if I feel like if I'm at my best and I play my best, I'm one of the best quarterbacks. I'm definitely one of the best 32 quarterbacks. It was a transitioning from him to be saying, okay, I'm the backup to now there's a power vacuum. And you saw that on the sideline when you see Jameis Winston moving from each guy from the offensive line, talking about with the protection, talking to some of the guys over here that are catching the football, the Jerry Judys, the Elijah Moores. Now he's involved with them. Now they over to the sideline talk about what I saw right here and what you saw right here, and the ball is infectious. When that ball is touching every single person, when the football is touching multiple people's, again, pause, you get that energy that, guess what? I'm going to run this route hard because I might get that rock. I'm going to block hard because I know Jameis is going to get the rock out when he's supposed to. I'm going to do these things. Kevin Stefanski is more involved. All of these things are good football. And we have not seen good football since last year. My challenge and my challenge to people and Browns fans across the spectrum is this. Enjoy evaluating and watching this team, because you don't find out much about your team when you're flying high and everything going well. You find out about some people when all hell done broke loose. You find out about a coach. Forget Kevin Stefanski and the two-time coach of the year, whatever the case may be. This is going to tell you all you need to know about Kevin Stefanski, because all hell broke loose. They was at the gates ready to get rid of Kevin Stefanski. Andrew Berry, they was at the gates. Andrew Berry looking around like, man, I need the picks I took. I need these guys. Cedric Tillman saving my job right now. DeJuan Jones, I hope he saved my job right now. And right now, the Cleveland Browns, for the first time, seemed as if they were playing with one band, one sound, one likeness, one mind, one like-minded team, complementary football. And for me, that was very interesting to see. And to be honest with you, I'm happy that they got to do that at home in front of the fans. And now it's time to start rebuilding some of that mojo, rebuilding some of that energy, rebuilding some of that stuff. Because I'm going to tell you what, they're all going to have an opportunity to prove themselves. Jameis Winston is going to have an opportunity to continue playing good football, to see if he's going to be something that they could possibly stick down the line. Kevin Stefanski is going to continue to work on his game. He's going to continue to prove that, hey, this is why I should be the coach of the team. Go so on and so forth down the roster. You're going to find more about the Cleveland Browns this year than you have in many years in the past. Because this year, they could have been folded this up. It would have been easy as hell to roll DTR or some other backup quarterback out there and shut it down. And I'm glad they did. Speaking of shut it down, I'm going to stop talking and get to some of your comments. I know you guys want to get in here. We're going to talk about a lot of different things. What y'all want to do? Want to be ballers, shot callers? Nah, yeah. Am I allowed to say that? Shout out to that guy. Let's get to it. Let me see this. Let me see. Let me get rid of this real quick so we get your stuff. G. Bush been calling for DeJuan Jones at left tackle since last year. Thank you, DeAndre Black. Sometimes, I don't be getting that. It's okay. You're not gonna get the credit all the time. Sometimes I am wrong. Heck, I said Deshaun Watson was gonna get 4,500. That didn't happen. But I do appreciate when you do shout it out and you let it be known. And here's the thing. I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. DeJuan Jones, I was on DeJuan Jones very rough at the beginning of the year. I said he was out of shape, he didn't know his plays, and he was a turnstile over at right tackle. All of that being said, I've always stayed true and committed to what I've always been about, and that is this: the game of football does not get played in my household, in my mind, on TV. The game of football gets played on the field, and everybody has the opportunity to make me right or wrong on that football field. You get an opportunity, and DeJuan Jones put in the work. If he balls out, I'm going to say he balled out. I thought he did a real good job at left tackle. I think that they moving forward, they might found something here, and this is the great thing about football. I think you might have found some stuff where it comes to when it comes to some of these players. And that's what you're looking for at 2 and 6. People may not be excited about it, but listen, you're looking to evaluate and find some stuff. And I thought the left tackle DeJuan Jones played well, very well. Had a couple penalties, but I do think much better. I had to look at the tape and see what the PFF scores look like, but I thought by first looking, I thought he did a pretty good job. Get to some more of your comments. Shout out to G. Bush. Hope you're feeling better. You a national treasure. I peep you. Hey, shout out to all my Greeks out there. Shout out to the Alphas, the Kappas, the Deltas, the Zetas, all those. Shout out to the Qs, all my Greek folks out there and HBCUs out there, man. Shout out to my dad's alma mater, Central State. We appreciate y'all. It's good to be back. It's good to be back talking about some good football this week. So we look, by the way, and I don't know about y'all, I'm not trying to do no tabloid football, man. I just like talking about the game, bro. This tabloid football sometimes it get to you, man. Like you want to check out. I don't even be wanting to talk like sometimes after it get done because just the way the tabloid football game be working. I don't know about that. I just like seeing good football, man. Kevin got some splaining to do, saying Watson gave them the best chance to win. Winston could be that dude for us. Hey, Bradley, let me tell you what happened. This is the way the world and life work out. Kevin Stefanski, when you say he was the best, he was the best for the job at that time. That directive came directly from the top. When you start talking about how much money Deshaun Watson was making, they was going to exhaust every avenue to get opportunity to give him that opportunity to win that job. Trust me, I know people was frustrated behind that. I told you 4 weeks ago I would have sat him down. But listen, moving forward, here's what we're seeing. You're seeing that Jameis Winston is moving the ball down the field. You're seeing Jameis Winston be able to win football games on the game-winning drive. Ball comes out of his hand quick. Now, he throws the ball in some tight quarters where it could get picked off. Let's not get it twisted. But let's go back to this. Everybody was talking about the dink and dunk nature of Deshaun Watson. If you're talking about the dink and dunk nature of Deshaun Watson, you shouldn't have no problem with Jameis Winston being aggressive. Because when you are aggressive like that, it gives you an opportunity to go down the field. It gives you a chance to keep this secondary from sitting on all these short routes. That's just what you have to do. You got to play that way sometimes to open things up, especially when you don't have the high-level, top-end talent at wide receiver, right? When you don't have the game-breaking speed at wide receiver. You're going to have to throw a few footballs like that. And like I already said, shout out to Kevin Stefanski. He had the foresight and he had the wherewithal to put his ego aside and say, I'm going to turn play calling over because it's not working very well. He could have held on to that play calling, couldn't he? People expected him to. I give him credit for not doing so because I thought Dorsey did a great job. Matter of fact, in the comment section, wherever you at in the comment section, I want to get some grades from you really quickly. We don't go over them. What grade do you give Dorsey in terms of the play calling, in terms of the way the offense looked, the flow, some of the different ways that he went about attacking the Baltimore Ravens? Let me know. Scale of 1 to 10. What do you give Ken Dorsey in the way he handled this offense today? We'll go ahead and start with that. We'll come back and give Jameis Winston a grade coming up later on in the show as well. And don't forget, we can still take your calls as well. And don't forget, coming up, I'm giving you an opportunity to get some really cool Brown stuff. You don't want to miss this. Coming up, I'm going to give you an opportunity to win something. Man, Greg, what's up, Greg? What's up, cuz? So Tillman scores on a slant. Haven't seen that in years. Online, good job at 8 of 15 on third down today. Tillman caught that ball like he was Sonic the Hedgehog. I was like, this is Knuckles or like he caught that ball like, I mean, it was on a rope. Like he ran that like it was here. Like, wow, touchdown. I said, man, I ain't seen that. That's how you know. One thing that I'm gonna give Jameis Winston credit for, that dude ain't scared. He's not scared. Like he has dementia for quarterbacks. That man do not remember where he put his keys or the last time he threw an interception. Or threw a pick six, who cares? And to be truthful, Joe Flacco throws a lot of picks. To be truthful, a lot of those guys that are Joe Flacco threw a lot of picks. That's what you got. Listen, he from that different era. Like he kind of from like an older era a little bit. He ain't really a new wave quarterback. And everything is about this efficiency stuff. And people have kind of moved away from the Brett Favre type attitudes or whatever. But when you look at it, he's just like this. Listen, I got dementia. I don't know what the heck happened last play or 2 plays ago. I'm coming right back and I'm throwing that ball. And he throws it before people out of their breaks. He throws it to a spot. But you see, that's the level of anticipation you got to have in this football league in order to get it done. Big G showing love, bro. This is VO. What's up, man? Shout out to my fellow Bobcat, Von Carrier Owens. You know what it is, man. VO, shout out to him, man. Part of the Bobcats. Great running back for OU, man. Shout out to you, man. I see you, big dog. As always, man. 1,300 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button. Browns win. Kool-Aid Mafia is coming. What color Kool-Aid should I do tomorrow on UCSS? We right back at it. Victory Monday. Ready to go, man. Boy, these wins is hard to come by. They hard to come by. Let me get to some other individuals here. Let me see what we got. Stop the Cap. I love that name. I don't know where you got it from, but I like it. Completely agree. Sucks it took him this long, but I'm glad he sees it now. His face on that Elijah Moore 10-yard out late, you could tell he was not sure about the call when the screen showed his face. Hey, that boy, I think you talk about Kevin Stefanski. He was like, I think Kevin got a different vantage point too. I think he had a different vantage point when he saw it. He like, yo, that's kind of cool. Like he like, it's an element of surprise because you're not really calling the plays. You just watching like us. So when he on the sideline looking at it, he like, I hope this work. Right? I hope this work. Hey, man. Kool-Aid Mafia lives and we thirsty. Let's go. Let's keep it moving. Hey, watch this. Batonio's spine just healed up. Hey, ain't that funny? Ain't that funny how everybody, hey, look, ain't it funny how everybody just got it together one day? Dang, Joe Batonio over there cooking. Boy, I said, that's funny. Y'all boys was moving around, huh? Let's see. Let's see. Let me see. What's up, man? That red Kool-Aid gooder than a mug. You see what it is, man. I don't know. Listen. Hey, listen. Hey, if you salty at home, you'll come back around. You'll come back around. Chuck, God bless JLK and War. Let's get them boys back. Let's get them boys back quick. There's a lot of comments in here. It's like over 400 comments, man. Let's see. Yeah, we cooking tonight. Where we at? Yeah, we in here cooking. Yeah, hey, Big Ed, what's up, bro? We in here cooking. A lot of people. Listen. I'm gonna say this. Why it be? It's all quiet on the Western Front today. Y'all notice something? See, I be noticing something. See, the energy level different. See, like hate is a more strong emotion than love. Hate will have you out here moving different. Your energy is just different. Your attention to stuff is different. When the Browns be 1-6 and taking these L's, when they be doing all that stuff, y'all notice it ain't the same. When they was talking about people booing each other last week, everybody else in their mama was moving around. I don't know about this. Man, we can hear today, we just beat the Baltimore Ravens, one of the best teams in the league. Jameis Winston looked like what a comeback win. You notice that energy level is different. It is. See, we gotta get back to the football. See, sometimes regular good football don't sell. I be trying to tell y'all this. all the time. Sometimes regular good football do not sell. And what I mean by that is people running around watching the Chiefs in the late game by now. Dang it. I thought Deshaun Watson. I thought we were going to get some more Watson stuff off this week. Looks like they turned the page. Damn it. Kevin Stefanski got to win against the Ravens. I don't know if we can really run that story about getting rid of him now, huh? Andrew Berry. Always going to get one or the other. See, the purgatory part is it's going to be a lot of people that's indifferent because you think about it. They always say it's better to be really, really good or really, really bad. Being mediocre in the middle just turns people off. And right now the Browns are 2-6, so they're not really pumped about. They're like, well, listen, if we win 5-6 more games, then we still 500. Don't worry about it. They'll come back around. It's just like the Flacco thing. They win next week. All of a sudden, you get a couple other people peeking in here. Let me see what these boys in the barbershop talking about. What G. Bush talking about? So you don't just watch G. Bush when he's mediocre. You gotta watch. You gotta watch G. Bush when you good or bad, because you know how I give it up. Let's keep it moving. All right, let's get to these grades. These grades is coming up. So I said, let me know how you feel about Dorsey. What grade you give him on a scale of 1 to 10? Well, all right, we can equate. Some people gave me grade letters. Dark Shogun says, that's a great name. A. We got a B by Carey. Let's see. Solid B. Got an A. B plus. An 8. I think an 8 is like an A minus. 8 is a B plus. B plus. B plus. 8 or 9. Gave him solid 8 B. 100 divided by 10. I don't know what I'm.
10.
I gotta check in with.
10.
Oh, okay. I had to check with my Asian wife correspondent. 10. Okay. Yeah, that's 10. I can't do nothing. I'm just playing with y'all. 8, 8 to 9, 10. A plus from Chuck. B, really good. B minus, okay. B. 9 out of 10. I see what you're saying. 8.5, 9. What's up, Rob? 8, 7.8. B plus, as you can see. B, A, 8. Let me see. Jay Bavis says, G Bush, it's only one game. You doing flips. Come on, Jay. Listen. Look, listen, when you 1-6 and you thirsty and you ain't drink no Kool-Aid all year, and it's the Ravens that smoked you traditionally, for tonight, we're going to do backflips and we're going to overreact. And I think I've been clear. I haven't even been out of pocket with this. This is regular. This is regular. I didn't say Jameis Winston was the next guy and we ain't going to draft the guy. I just said, listen, one day at a time. Listen, we just have a nice date. No strings attached. We just enjoying each other's company. I'm not trying to engage nobody, you know. But what I'm saying, Cedric Tillman was balling today. Cedric Tillman was balling. 9s, another 8. So it's the purple and the orange Kool-Aid. Y'all telling me purple, orange Kool-Aid, 8.5. Yep. We cooking. 9. Let me see. Let's see. Stop the cap. Rust excuses, injury excuses, play calling excuses. Why can't people admit that he cannot move our offense? He's been below average. Brown is not even debatable. Hey, listen. I mean, you're not gonna get that. You're not gonna hear that from me. Not gonna hear that from me. Hey, listen. Like I said, he was bad. Like there were some things going on around him that was also bad. But let's keep it real. Like and here's what I want to say, man. Collectively, the way it works is Deshaun Watson is gonna have surgery. And I get it. It's human nature. Some people are going to say, it's going to be throughout this week. It's going to be, I told you so, or we should have been doing this earlier, or whatever the case may be. After a week or so, if Jameis Winston continues to keep playing good football, what's going to happen is the Browns are going, people are going to move on. I think that instead of, harping on Deshaun Watson and harping on what it was, enjoy them games that's in front of you, man. Enjoy the win today. Enjoy what we're going to look forward to tomorrow. Like, we could have took an L today and had to watch DTR play. Listen, and it's not, to me, these games, it's only 17 of them. So I try my best to live in the moment and talk about football, because I'll get to the summer and be like, man, I can't wait till football come back. And you'll realize you just fast forwarded the whole season. Like you didn't even really take the time to think about it, man. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Barbershop, the real reaction. You be nice. Hey, look. See, I be trying to tell people about this. Let me stop moving my mic around like I'm a rookie. Man, it's a difference between the difficult part about doing sports talk is this. For every show that you're on, there's always a different style and there's always a different format, right? There's a lot of performance that goes into Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. There's also a lot of real talk that goes on over there. There's also 4 or 5 or 6 other different panelists that rotate in. So, you can't, really just dominate the conversation. When you're on the radio, it's more of an open format, but obviously you're getting to more topics and fans are weighing in. And, when I do these different post-game shows is because it's more of a longer format where I could talk, enjoy, hang out with y'all, get y'all's comments, and do it more than a half-hour type show. And it's a way for me to get to a lot of people on different platforms and just talk and really dissect and do a lot of different other things. And some people enjoy that. So what I always say to people is this. There's some people that enjoy what I do on UCSS, and that's a part of my personality. Some people enjoy what I do in a barbershop on the radio. That's a part of my personality. Some people enjoy what I do here on the Barbershop YouTube page or Bleacher Report or wherever I'm at. Those are all parts of the barbershop. That's all part of my personality. It's just the way you get to it. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we support everybody who's supporting wherever I'm at. But I do enjoy this. And I will say this, to your point, I enjoy doing this a lot because this is just where I grew up at. You know, I started just talking to people one-on-one. This is where I'm comfortable with. You know what I mean? Let me see. Now listen. Let's get to this. Before we get up out of here. No, and I'm gonna do this right now before we start taking your situation. I want to do. Let me take this down so we can talk. Let's see. Here we go. So what I want to do is I want to shout out. And I've been wanting to do this for a while. So there is a young artist. Her name is Desiree Mayo, and she does some of the most fantastic drawings in the game. Some of the most fantastic drawings in the game. And she's worked with me. She's worked with UCSS, and she's drawn pictures like this. Right? She came on UCSS. If you guys didn't check it out, she gave one of these pictures to everybody on the set, whether that's Jay Crawford, whether that's everybody at UCSS. Hand me the one in UCSS one. Beautiful assistant. Beautiful assistant. Assistant. Hello. Hello, assistant. I don't know. Listen, I gotta do you need an assistant? I need an assistant somewhere. Give me that. Let me get this. We're gonna have to, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I gotta get a new assistant. I don't know what she's doing back here. I only hired her because of her good looks. Now I'm playing. See, as you can see, she did this, right? So look at this is the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. What I'm gonna do is I've been waiting. She does great drawings for the Cleveland Browns. And what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna give away 2 of these hand-drawn Cleveland Browns legends. First and foremost, we're gonna give this away. This is gonna be framed. This is all hand-drawn. This is hand-drawn JOK. We're going to give you that. You're going to get that in the frame. Hand-drawn JOK. One lucky winner is going to win that. And then we got another lucky winner. Right here. The Josh Cribbs joint. This is all hand-drawn, as you can tell. We're going to give out 2 of these. And I'm going to tell you right now how you can win one of these drawings. Let me pull this up. Pull this up real quick. All right, here you go. As you can see, shout out to Desiree, right? This is her right here on the left-hand side. She drew, this is the mayor of, this is the, I believe this is the, where's this mayor of? This is a mayor of a city that she drew. Obviously, this is Jim Brown. In the Myles Garrett hand-drawn photo right here. She did all these by hand. She's the dope. She's had 3 or 4 children's books that she's created. She did something for Black History. She is super dope. And what we're going to do is we're going to give away 2 of these drawings today that I just showed off. The only thing you got to do is follow these directions. It's completely free. You're going to send, the code word today is drawing, drawing, DRAWING. You're going to send that to gbush91@hotmail.com. You got to have it by Tuesday. And then the only other 3 things you got to do, if you're listening to this channel, you probably already did 1 or 2 of them. Follow me at gbush91 on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram, gbush91_barbershop. Follow Desiree on Instagram at Design by Mayo LLC. And then finally, subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Barbershop. That's all you got to do. If you do all 4 of those things or 5 of those things, you get entered into a drawing, and we will ship this with a frame and ship it directly to your home. So you'll get a frame. We'll put it in the frame. We'll send it to you. And we have giveaways throughout the rest of the season. So we have a Jim Brown. We have a Myles Garrett. Those ones aren't being sent. Today's pictures are JOK and Josh Cribbs. We'll continue to do this throughout the rest of the season. We've given out Kool-Aid Mafia rags and towels and all those things, but I thought this was really special because these are handwritten drawings and these are copies of those. We'll frame it. We'll send it right to you. And the only thing you got to do, hit me up at gbush91 at hotmail.com with the word drawing. Follow me on Twitter at gbush91. Follow me on Instagram at gbush91_barbershop. Follow Desiree, Designed by Mail LLC. And then hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel, and you automatically will be entered into the drawing. It's pretty sweet, too. I ain't gonna lie. Listen, we got one. We see all by hand. Pretty sweet. All good. So let's get back to it. Let's get to this. I want to talk about the situation with Jameis Winston. Now, you have Jameis Winston, right? And from what you saw today, what do you believe the upside is for Jameis Winston? Do you need to see some more time? Do you need to see Jameis perform a little better? Do you need to see Jameis do it over a longer stretch of period of time? And what do you think the ultimate upside is of Jameis Winston for this football team? Because, you know, right now, as I talked about it before, we just want to date and have a little fun right now. But pretty soon, you get to a point where if you continue to stack these wins on top of each other, you start to consider and say, you know, what is it long term that we may possibly have with Jameis Winston? Let me know in the comment section. We'll get to that before we get you guys out of here and celebrate the rest of this win. Let's get to some more of your comments too. Got a couple more super chats here. Let's see. My man Ace Solomon, need to see Deshaun Watson with Dorsey play calls in 2025. I don't know, Ace. I don't know if that's going to happen. Let me tell you why that might not happen. Deshaun Watson just had successful surgery. And at the end of the day, when he had that successful surgery, he's not going to be able to do anything in the offseason. He's not even going to be ready until probably about this time next year. That puts you in a bind to say, I need a guy that's going to go through OTAs. I need a guy that's going to go through camp. He's going to have to go to 3 or 4 through 5 or 6 games during the season. And bringing Deshaun Watson back is, I mean, when you talk about that being untenable, especially if Jameis Winston is continuing to play well or whatever quarterback they have is playing well, I think that's a very difficult thing to come to. In my opinion, and I'm just not saying this because, you know, the way Jameis played, I think you may have seen the last of Deshaun Watson. And it's not because of all the others. And it's also, and me and Jason Lloyd talked about this, is because, let's be honest, man, like hearing somebody, you know, get booed when you're down at the lowest point in your life, you have to ask yourself, how would you want to come back to the locker room knowing that the city is not behind you? He's going to get paid regardless, but that alone makes it difficult for him to come back into the locker room. It just does. All y'all were crying for DTR. Now you loving Jameis Winston. Well, listen, man. I don't be crying for DTR. I don't know what y'all talking about. I mean, listen. I told you from get-go I would have played Jameis Winston. And by the way, that's the nature of sports, Smallville. Like, they're Browns fans. They're going to root for whoever's playing good. They don't really, at the end of the day, care. Like, on I told you so tip. It's just like, all right, well, if Jameis Winston is going to ball, he's going to ball. Or if it's DTR, he's going to ball. At the end of the day, people just going to go for who's doing their thing. Appreciate the super chat, though. No, he just need to watch out for those INTs. That's all, and we're good. Go Browns. Yeah, listen, them INTs can come like that. Them INTs, life comes at you quick, right? Appreciate the super chat. I disagree. God willing, Deshaun Watson will make a comeback. Listen, I wish him all the best. I wish him all the best. Like I said before, everybody has an opportunity to prove you wrong or right. Deshaun Watson can come back and resurrect his career and be great. He has a chance to prove that. I'm just giving you from the insight and the honest opinion that I have looking at it. That's the thought process that I'm looking at. It's going to be difficult and hard for him to come back from that, especially in the locker room. TJ Hostetler says, hi, G. Bush. Welcome back, Kool-Aid Mafia leader. This win is for Jim. More than anything, that's what I want to get through, man. It's a, the thing that was sad for me. Let me take this down real quick, as we get ready to go. The thing that was sad for me is to see that Jim, like a lot of our very seasoned and veteran Browns fans and people who diehard Browns fans, they waited their whole life to see the Cleveland Browns be great. They waited their whole lives. They've been praying. They've been hoping, and they've been wishing that the Browns can break through and just one day just to see their team on TV, see their team in the championship, see their team in the Super Bowl, and for him to pass away. I don't know. That just stuck with. I don't know, man. It just stuck with me crazy. Like yesterday, I was in a weird mood, man. Because it just, it kind of. I just kept playing it in my head like the unfulfilled destiny, the unfulfilled like leaving here. And I know this is just a football game, and there's bigger things for him and his family. But for you to dedicate your life to calling so many Browns games and to be inducted into the Ring of Fame, and then to pass so quickly. It just, I just remember seeing him in the hallways at KYC the other day, and I'm like, wow, that was a couple months ago. He just retired from there in June. And more than anything, sports is special because without sports, and without the Cleveland Browns, like I wouldn't know all of you guys. I wouldn't be able to communicate with you. We would never cross paths. We would have never, we'd have never been able to communicate with one another and to just join something and be a part of a community. Man, there's so many people out here that never get an opportunity to be a part of nothing. Some people never play sports. Some people grew up in a single family home, or they're the only child, or maybe they live by themselves, or they're loners. And, as humans, we all want something to belong to. We all want a collective group of people that we can support and talk to, man. And for a lot of us, the Browns is the only thing that you or me or somebody may have. So anytime that you lose somebody in that community, it hits a little different, man. Even from when people call me on the radio, and if I don't hear from the people on the radio, like LaPrade or Aunt Bev or BP or any of the guys that call up on my show regularly, if you listen and the names, it's like Todd and Moore. It's like I worry about him. Like, hey, what's going on with so-and-so? I wonder if he's good. Does anybody have his number? Like, these are like family members and like people that right? And so, to lose one of those individuals, is sad. But furthermore, it also highlights the best of what sports is. The sports brings us together because we on one accord for at least one thing. We might not have the same political views, the same religion. We may not be from the same culture or the same race, but for one Sunday, for one day a week, everybody that know and love the same thing you know and love is all there and ready to go and hanging out and having a great time. And win, lose, or draw, we come here every Sunday. And that's why I try to do these shows every Sunday, because it's a meetup. It's a place to touch base with one another and to interact, whether you agree or with everything I say or whether you disagree with everything I say. It's a place for you to come share your format and share your passions about the Cleveland Browns. And you guys show up and show out every single weekend you do. So whether it's 5 people in here or 1,300 is like it is now, I enjoy it. It helps me vent. It helps me, right now I'm feeling good. I'm gonna let you guys off here so you go home and watch some of these rest of these games, eat some dinner, get ready, shower up, and get ready to go to work. But the life is always better when you can get that win, and that's more than anything what I love most about the Cleveland Browns community. I love most about talking about this type of stuff. As always, let's get back to it and do what we need to do. Before we go. We always give it. Every time we do it, we do a shout out from where you from, what you doing, how you moving. And so we'll start off on a Victory Monday, and I'll start it off like I do, man. G. Bush, leader of the Kool-Aid Mafia, aka Big Circus in the building. You already know, I already got all of the events popping. 3 Ring Circus is in the building, hanging out with y'all, man. Duke and Knee Jerk. 216 is in the building. 330-440 is in the building. Northeast Ohio, Canton, Akron, Cleveland. Stand up. Where are you calling from? Where are you celebrating and drinking that Kool-Aid from today, man? It's been a great day. I'm almost done with my Kool-Aid. I'm gonna enjoy it a little bit more. There we go. Where are you calling from? Let's see. Where you tapping in from? Where are we at? Let me get it good. Woo! Let's get it. Yeah. Yes, sir. You know what it is. Tacoma, Washington, man. Originally from East 117th Street, man. You a long way from home, but we appreciate you, man. Vermilion, a.k.a. Big Circus. You know what it is, man. Victory, Akron. You know what it is. California in the building, Dallas, 805, Middleburg Heights, Jacksonville, Florida, West Park in the building, man. Man, watching from the top of Happy Mountain, I see you. Hey, man, thanks, G. Bush, man. You know what it is. You know what it is, man. You already know. Let's see. Here, you know what we're doing. 216 in here, Columbus in here, Phoenix, man. ATL, Martin's Ferry. Shout out to Chad Brinker, wherever you at, Chad Brinker. Let's see. There we go. Let's see. Canton, Ohio. We ain't bring the bell home. Hey, Michael Smith. Hey, listen. Maslin tough. Maslin messing around, got a little dynasty. Don't hate me out, Bulldogs. Don't hate me out there. Maslin different right now. Garfield. Vermilion. Thanks for always keeping it real from LA. You know we gonna keep it real, Ace. You know we gonna keep it real. You know how we give it up. California's in the building. Tough today. 216. Colorado's in the building. 216, man. On cloud 9. That's the best place to be, man. Cleveland, stand up. Brunswick. Warren. Shout out to Maurice Claret, man. For the Heights, live and direct. Miami. Let's go. Burlington, Wisconsin. Yes, sir. 216. What's up, William Wise? What up, cuz? What up, cuz? Listen, we like you, except for those Wolverines. You and those Wolverines. 406 Montana. We worldwide, man. Rain in here. Nova Scotia. Vegas. Big Circus in the building. 305 to 216 from the land. Mafia line. H-Town. What's up, Akron? Youngstown. Hey, man. We still, we sure didn't still go pups as always, man. We always getting that in the dub. Let's see. Watching from England, man. What's up, man, Mr. Struce? We see you. Mansfield in the building, man. Hey, for wherever you at, we love you. Happy holidays. Holidays is coming up. I already got my Christmas tree up on, by the way. Shout out to my wife. Filipinos will have their tree up already. Listen, it's not even Halloween. We got all the decorations in the house already up. She's just running around. Babe, we need 3 trees. 3 trees. I said 3 trees. What are you talking about? We already got 2. All the decorations is up. Cleveland, the Wood, we appreciate you. Guys, let's have a great week. Have a great rest of your evening. Browns get a win over the Baltimore Ravens. This one was dedicated to the late, great Jim Donovan. I know he in heaven looking down on this one. He is excited that we got this win, and I know he was out there helping us out a little bit, and I definitely am excited about where we're going moving forward. With that being said, you never know where G. Bush is going to be, radio, television, or internet. Make sure I'm going to put it up on the screen one more time. If you want some of this Browns gear, you want some of this Browns, not gear, but Browns photos and portraits, make sure we'll go ahead out on this. Send it in, do your thing. Here's the instructions, screenshot it. You might have an opportunity to win these, and we'll be reaching out to those individuals coming up later this week. Also, all the winners of the Kool-Aid Mafia t-shirts and rags, your orders are in the mail, so you will get those within the next couple of weeks. So we out here moving. It's G. Bush here, right here on the Barbershop, and you never know where I'm going to be, radio, TV, or internet. And if you want a fresh take on sports, I always got the Clippers. Your boy G. Bush is here. Have a great evening. And as always, go Browns.